Good morning, guys. Welcome to AMX87, Your Greatest Weakness. So as you start to gather in here, I'm going to share it on my personal page. I want to send a big thank you out. Yesterday, for whatever reason, on a Sunday, was one of the biggest, the most watched AM Excellences in recent, in the last, month or so. So I really appreciate that. Whatever it is that you did to get it out there, I sincerely appreciate it. And I see a lot of people signing on right now, so that is a good sign. That is a good sign of things to come. And what I'm going to do to make this as easy as possible on you is I'm going to commit to 6:30. I'm going to commit to 6:30 a.m. period. So let's just get it. The only wild card there is Sunday, but we'll deal with that. And another thing I'm going to do, so I announced, or I put it out there, that I'm developing an idea that I have, that I've been gathering some feedback from you all, as for a way to take this AM Excellence to the next level. To the next level, meaning you want to listen to it every day, but you want to take it further. You want to interact and engage with other people who are listening. And it's been really cool that there's been a lot of feedback with the comments and everything, which is awesome. So I am developing a way to kind of 10x that and make it even more development and more interaction to lead to more development. So one of the what I said last night when I put out that post that I'd be doing at 6:30 today was, let's not just talk about it, let's be about it. So it'll be a source of accountability, a source of challenge, etc. And I'll kind of figure that out in the next probably the next week or so. And what I'm going to do also, sorry for all these announcements, but I'm going to go straight through 100 every day. So I'm going to go to AMX 100 every day, and then I'll do a Monday through Friday. And that's partly because my family life on Saturday, Sunday, is pretty important. And sometimes people just want to kind of tune out a little bit on the weekends. But I will have some things. But anyway, that's that. So the book we're reading is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And again, it's one of the most, I sit here, read, I got up really early this morning, had a call this morning, and then got right into reading. And I just get so tuned up, in fighting or whatever. I get so tuned up, I get ready to rock and roll. But this book, yesterday we were talking about faith. You got to have faith. And today, it's along those same lines, but it's back to that power of belief, and it's back to, we're going to talk about the ether, the energy that you throw out there. And some of these concepts are a little bit, I'm a very, very conservative, very, matter of fact, black and white, 1 + 1 is 2 type of person. But then you read about these stories of these crazy success, this crazy success, or looking at the outside in from my story, going from Spanish teacher to UFC fighter, you look at these examples and you think there's got to be more than just, 1 and 1 = 2. There's got to be something behind it. And this book really focuses on the power of thought, the energy, the belief. So does the energy bus that we just got done reading. So does Urban Meyer with Above the Line. All of these guys talk about the power of thought. And it's not just sitting there saying, no, I think I can, like the little train, the little engine that could. It's not just I think I can, it's I think I can. And these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things I'm going to systematically do so I truly believe that thought. So he goes on to say, and we're talking about self-talk. It is a well-known fact that one comes, finally, to believe whatever one repeats to oneself, whether the statement be true or false. Think of that in your own lives. And I would love some feedback and comments here. When have you talked yourself into victory, or when have you talked yourself into defeat? And this, can be in a competitive arena, it could be in a relationship, a job, etc. And he stresses this, the power of that thought, that you think you can, you think you can't, you're right. You will talk yourself up, or you will talk yourself down. There's no super scientific thing to it. That is the way it is. So when have you talked yourself into success or talked yourself into defeat? Goes on to say, every man is what he is because of the dominating thoughts which he permits to occupy his mind. Again, back to that self-talk. He calls it auto-suggestion, but that's self-talk. And okay, so touching on this idea of thoughts, ideas, and plans, he says any thought, idea, plan, or purpose which one holds in one's mind attracts from the vibrations of the ether a host of its relatives, adds these relatives to its own force, and grows them. So what he's saying there is whatever thought you have in your mind goes out into the ether. And this is kind of that next level thinking, but if you stop and consider it, if you don't put on your blinders, let's put it that way. So don't put on your blinders and let's think for a second, hey, okay, what if out in the ether there is this energy, and what if whatever thought that I think is going to attract more of its relatives? Negative thought, let's attract more negative. So self-pity, oh, I look so bad. Okay, well that's gonna attract, I have no friends, and that's gonna attract, I have no energy, I have no money, I have no whatever. Or if you thought, hey, I look a little better today. Oh, I have an extra $10 in my account. The point is, whatever thought you're throwing out there is attracting more. So consider that. Don't just hard no, that doesn't make sense. Just open your mind and consider that. And he goes on to say, and this is, I'm going to touch on something that gets into a little bit different philosophies, but the underlying point is this: any idea, plan, or purpose may be placed in the mind through repetition of thought, which we pick up and register through the stimuli of our daily environment. The stimuli of our daily environment. My fifth element of excellence: surround yourself with the best. Everything that you absorb, osmosisize into your mind, comes from your environment. And whatever you absorb through your environment is then multiplied 10x'd by attracting its relatives. So if you surround yourself with the not best, naysayers, negativity, Debbie Downers, whatever you want to call them, you're going to absorb that into your mind. That negativity is going to then absorb all of this other negativity into your mind. Whereas if you act proactively, surround yourself with the best, boom, there you have it, the exact opposite effect. This title of this video is called Your Greatest Weakness. This would be another fun, actually, response here as well. What is your greatest weakness? What is your greatest weakness? Let's do a bit of self-assessment and let's be a consultant for our own selves. Now, Napoleon Hill, and I'm taking Napoleon Hill's word for, I'm not going to say fact because I differ with some of it, but there's a pretty strong basis for his word based on the fact that this book is based on interviews of 500 of the most successful men in America. Okay? He says, so I would love to see, so what is your weakest asset, or what is your biggest weakness? He goes on to say, taking inventory of mental assets and liabilities, you will discover that your greatest weakness is lack of self-confidence. Lack of self-confidence. Now, I did some polling with some of you and came to the realization that overcoming fear was a big obstacle or barrier. Well, you overcome fear with self-confidence, so it works both ways. So consider, where do you stand with self-confidence? For me, self-confidence led me to be a 2-time silver medalist, but self-confidence also led me to be a UFC fighter. Lack of versus having it. So it will dictate wherever you go. But I can't develop self-confidence. You develop self-confidence by the way you live your life on a daily basis. Going back to that stimuli that you surround yourself with. If you're sitting there right now and you're saying to yourself, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident, and then you go out and you go through your life the same way that you always have, you're never going to develop that confidence. It's not going to happen because there's no basis to that thought. It is a thought, but there's no belief in that thought because you're doing nothing. You're doing nothing to bring on that belief. It's gotta be in your daily actions. What are you doing? With whom are you spending your time? What are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you saying to yourself in your mind? One thought attracts another like thought, good or bad. Here's two really neat, I'll start to wrap it up here, but here's two really neat short sentences, little quips that are really thought-provoking. He says, I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. Jocko Willink, the Navy SEAL that I reference often, who wrote Extreme Ownership, a book that I highly recommend, And if you go to my website and click on charlie-brenneman.com and click on read, you'll find my reading list. But he stresses this in an interview. He was saying manipulation has a bad ring to it. Manipulation sounds like I'm on this side of this camera trying to manipulate you into doing something for me, right? That's what we think of manipulation. But he says no, manipulation is not really that way. Manipulation should be a win-win situation. You get, I get, we're both happy. Here he says, Napoleon Hill says, I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. So is it a manipulation? I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But the point is, serve, be served, win, win, do it with integrity, do it with purity, do it with authenticity and intent, and the world is a better place. And this is another great one. And this would deal with kids, this would deal with coworkers, etc. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. You earn respect. You don't get respect. You are what you celebrate. If I'm confident as a leader, you're listening as a leader of your life, whatever you emanate is what you're going to get. You emanate belief in yourself, those around you are going to believe in you, which then in turn is going to help them believe in themselves. There's a couple other things I'm contemplating here, but that I think that's a good place to stop. So assess yourself. What is your greatest weakness? If it is self-confidence, if it is overcoming fear, understand that you're not just going to snap your fingers and overcome it. It is a gradual process, systematic process that is revealed by your daily actions. Surround yourself with the best. Surround yourself with the best. Brainwash yourself into believing in yourself. Thank you for all tuning in to AMX87, Your Greatest Weakness. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Like I said yesterday, or like I said at the beginning of this video, yesterday's video was awesome, got a ton of views. So whatever tagging, whatever sharing you're doing, I sincerely appreciate it. Let's make it a win-win situation. Continue to grow, and I will be like I said, I'm developing kind of a way, a very cost-effective way. One of the things that I dislike the most is if you want something that costs a ton of money, but developing a very cost-effective way to take your game to the next level, to go next level on the AMX experience. So I'll be hopefully rolling that out here in the near future. I will be rolling that out in the near future. I encourage you all, carpe diem, fight well, spread excellence.